A new study says that cats can get the new human coronavirus. Do you need to panic? Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you've yet to do so, click there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and then when you click the link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book. Cats can now get infected with the coronavirus that is causing COVID-19. A team at the Harbin Veterinary Research Institute in China just published this study. They found that not only can cats get infected, they can spread it to other cats. They also studied other animals such as dogs, chickens, pigs, ducks, and they found that the only animal to become infected were cats. The only animal to then spread it to another of their same species was cats. Being cat parents, do we need to be worried, alarmed? Like, is this real? This was a lab experiment and it does not represent what would happen in the real world. They directly expose these cats, injecting millions of virus particles up their nose. We're dealing with 5 cats. And they found that all the cats became infected with coronavirus, COVID-19, although none of them showed clinical signs. They then put 3 of these infected cats in a cage next to 3 uninfected cats, and did found that there was respiratory transmission. So one of the cats sneezed, coughed, with these airborne particles. One of those then went into an adjacent uninfected cat. So meaning one cat can become infected, at least in a lab setting where they inject millions of virus particles up a cat's nose, and then those same cats could pass it on to other cats. It needs to be emphasized that none of the cats showed any sign of COVID-19, of SARS-CoV-2 illness, and that there was zero evidence that once those cats were artificially infected, they could then be transmitting that virus to people. A few other key points. These are only preliminary results. Secondly, they need to be duplicated. Third, they need to be duplicated in more real world environments, as in what it's like in a household when there is a person and or a family infected with COVID-19. What level of potentially virus is floating in the air and they potentially exposing their cat to. Another key point, during the SARS outbreak in 2003, it was shown that cats, yes, could potentially be exposed and then actually be infected with SARS virus. But they were at never any time shown to be any one significant source of the infection, and no scientist was ever able to show that any cat then subsequently passed that SARS virus onto people. So they weren't considered any key part of that SARS infection. What about other animals? Well, they found no evidence that dogs could be infected. You may remember, even just last week, I did a video on a couple of dogs that had tested positive in Hong Kong, but they found no evidence that dogs could be infected. They did test other animals, found that ferrets in particular were highly sensitive, and ferrets actually are fairly sensitive to a number of other diseases. For instance, they can easily get canine distemper virus, human influenza virus. Virologist Linda Safe at Ohio State University is not concerned. She says there's no evidence that the cats are going to be secreting enough coronavirus to then be a risk to people. So what do you do? Well, the CDC is suggesting that if you are infected with SARS-CoV-2 causing COVID-19, then you should limit your contact with your companion animals. You shouldn't be letting them do things like lick you. Of course, she's not going to lick on camera. You shouldn't be sharing their food. No risk there. I try not to share Murray's cat food. But you know what I mean. They're trying to stress the abundance of caution. What do I think? I think your chance of getting CoV-2, COVID-19 from your dog, from your cat is virtually zero, and it's going to stay that way. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it from another person. To put it in context, this is a respiratory disease. When someone sneezes, they do a sneeze, they're infected with COVID-19, they will sneeze out 40,000 respiratory droplets. Millions and millions and millions of virus particles. That's where the disease is. You just happen to be walking into the grocery store, someone just sneezed, they just sneezed out 100 million virus particles. Those particles are floating in the air. Some of those last for 3 to 4 hours. That's how you're going to get infected. You walk into the store to pick up your pet food. Just so happens the person working there coughs. Guess what they just coughed up? I don't know, a few million virus particles. That's how you're getting infected. Those make their way up your nose, on your hands, you touch your face. Makes its way into your respiratory tract. In my opinion, you are not going to be getting infected from your dogs and cats. Most other specialists, they're of the exact same belief. Your dogs, your cats are they are not the source of the infection. It is people, it is humans, it is not our animals. This study was not a real world study. This is not sort of the amount of virus particles that your cat would normally be exposed to. They intentionally injected, millions of virus particles up these cats' noses to get them infected. Yes, there has been one case. We're dealing with probably millions of cases of COVID-19 right now around the world. Yes, there was one case, one cat tested positive in Belgium, and that cat had clinical signs. But one case out of millions and millions of people being infected, say it's like fractionally tiny, virtually non-existent. If you are infected, I think it would be wise to be cautious. You're not coughing into your dog, you're not sneezing into your cat's nose. But for virtually all of us who are practicing self-isolation and social distancing, as long as we don't have overt respiratory signs, spend as much time as you can with your dogs and your cats. Should you share their food? I don't encourage sharing their cat food, but Murray, here's something I could get really fast on short notice. Say a little piece of cheese. Some for Tula, some for me. Not really ideal for diabetic Murray, but Murray loves his food. Some for Murray. Yes, we're sharing our food today. I'm not sneezing, I'm not coughing. Neither is Tula, neither is Murray. Happy to share our own food. So you guys, yes, it's like a big dramatic news story. Do I think it's a realistic setting of what happens in the real world? No, I don't at all. I do not think you need to be worrying about, infecting your cat, infecting your dog. Especially your cat not being at any risk for you, than transmitting and or being a source of COVID-19. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets on this new study suggesting cats can get coronavirus. If you've yet to do so, click up there to subscribe, hit the bell to sign up for notifications, and then when you click the link directly in the box below, I can send you a copy of my free book.